if that other group is still there, doesn't even know if he's really needed, but he can't wait to take this opportunity to go down and confront people because he thinks he's some sort of cop, some sort of law enforcement agent, some sort of junior cadet who's out there with a responsibility to fight crime. Nobody asked him to do that. Nobody gave him the right. Nobody deputized him. Ryan Balch says, the police told me the crowds, we're going to push them down by you. You're going to deal with them. The Bearcats hand out water and tell him he's appreciated. As he's crossing the police line, they warn him about people throwing rocks. What is the message the defendant takes from all of this? The wrong message. Oh, well, now I've got the power. I've got the gun. I'm going to go confront these bad guys. I'm going to stick my nose in things. So what does he do when he gets down to 63rd Street? The first thing he does, we showed it to you at the very beginning, that drone video, grabs that gun and points it at someone to protect property. Points it at the Zeminskis. Because why? Because they're what? About to mess with some sort of fire? They're not threatening anyone's lives. He doesn't need to protect anyone. He doesn't need to protect himself. He's pointing a gun because he thinks he needs to protect property. He says he wants to put out a fire, but the first thing he does is drop the fire extinguisher on the ground. His AR-15 isn't going to put out a fire. So why is he really there? And we all agree, you can't use or threaten deadly force to protect someone else's property. You are here to decide whether or not his actions are legally justified, not to buy pathetic excuses that might be given to you. As a teacher, when a student says to you, the dog ate my homework, that's an excuse. It doesn't get you out of the homework assignment. If you panic in a situation that is not reasonable, that is an excuse. It is not a legal justification. If you're 17, if you don't have training or experience, if you put yourself in a situation where you're in over your head, if you're scared, those are excuses. Those are not legal justifications to kill. They do not erase your personal responsibility for your own actions. The court has read to you the instructions in this case. They lay out the law that you should apply. That reading took a long time, and I understand there was a lot to digest. And one of the things that you will have the opportunity to do when you go back and deliberate is read through those instructions yourselves. Because I get that listening to them doesn't always make it clear. But I encourage you to focus on some things when you consider the defendant's behavior in this case. You are told that criminally reckless conduct is conduct that threatens other people's lives and poses an unreasonable and substantial risk to other people. There is no dispute the defendant's activities here threatened other people's lives. He took 2 lives. You know, this is not like a normal murder case. A lot of murder cases we're in here trying to convince a jury that the defendant killed somebody. That's not disputed. That's the easy part. The question is, does he get a pass? Do we think that's okay? Do we think what he did was right?
Nope.
That's the question you have to answer. And when you consider whether his conduct was criminally reckless, consider, did it pose an unreasonable and substantial threat to the safety of others?
He's a terrorist.
Count 4 charges him with first-degree intentional homicide of Anthony Huber. There is no doubt that the defendant intended to kill Anthony Huber or committed conduct that he knew was practically certain to kill Anthony Huber. That gun was pointed at Anthony Huber's lower left rib cage, and the defendant deliberately pulled the trigger. That was no accident. And when you do that with an AR-15 against someone's body, it is practically certain to kill. We all know this case comes down to self-defense, but there's a high bar for using deadly force in a self-defense situation. The law says that the defendant may intentionally use force which is intended or likely to cause death or great bodily harm only if the defendant reasonably believed that the force was necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself. So did Joseph Rosenbaum pose an imminent threat of death or great bodily harm to the defendant?
Fuck no.
No way. Did Anthony Huber pose an imminent threat of death or great bodily harm to the
Nope.
defendant? Absolutely not. Did Jump Kick Man or Gage Grosskreutz? No. None of these people posed an imminent threat to the defendant's life or to cause great bodily harm. The standard when you make this decision is what a person of ordinary intelligence and prudence would have believed in the defendant's position under the circumstances that existed at the time of the alleged offense. The reasonableness of the defendant's beliefs must be determined from the standpoint of the defendant at the time of the defendant's acts and not from the viewpoint of the jury now. So put yourself in the defendant's position. Would you have done the same thing? Would a reasonable person have done the same thing? Would you have engaged in the reckless conduct that led to this course of events? Would you have gone out after curfew with an AR-15 looking for trouble? Would you have aimed at other people? Would you have tried to use the gun to protect an empty car lot? No reasonable person would have done these things. The court has also instructed you on provocation. You cannot hide behind self-defense if you provoked the incident. If you created the danger, you forfeit the right to self-defense. By bringing that gun, aiming it at people, threatening people's lives, the defendant provoked everything.
Talk about it.
And if he does that, he has to exhaust all reasonable means to avoid a confrontation. All reasonable means. So if Joseph Rosenbaum's running at him, Joseph Rosenbaum is no threat to his life. And not only is the defendant expected to run, he's expected to yell, push, shove that rag doll around, run back for help, call 911, call for help, do all sorts of other things besides just turn and fire 4 shots as Joseph Rosenbaum falls helpless to the ground.
You fired 4 shots at
Ladies and gentlemen,
dude. Come on.
There is
Was
no
it the
doubt
third shot was the one that killed
in this
him?
case that the defendant committed these crimes. He committed a first-degree reckless homicide against Joseph Rosenbaum. He put Richie McGinnis's life in jeopardy. He put Jump Kick Man's life in jeopardy. He intended to kill Anthony Huber, and he attempted to kill Gage Grosskreutz.
Yes, he did.
All of those elements are true. The question is whether or not you believe that his actions were legally justified. And I submit to you that no reasonable person would have done what the defendant did. And that makes your decision easy. He is guilty of all counts. Thank you.
Guilty.
Thank you,
Guilty.
Mr. Mayor. Let's take
This
a break
motherfucking judge.
about 2:25 hopefully, and please don't talk about the case. Read, watch, or listen when you come back.
All right, so I cannot stand this motherfucking judge. I was watching him earlier today. I just got really fucking annoyed, y'all. Like, dude is definitely homeboy's dad. Like, acts like he's his adopted dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I really seriously, it's driving me up a wall. I will be honest. I kind of can't wait for this to be over. Seeing Rittenhouse's face today, like, he looked really worried and nervous and scared and upset, like, a lot of the time. When the camera would be on his face, I will say that. But I want to know what y'all thoughts are. What do you think the jury will deliberate, how they will deliberate, how they will come out, given... Okay, so what is it called? The prosecution, they are just short of everything that they go on and say. They're like on the right path, they're on the money, like they're speaking truth, and then they just fall flat. Like, can we get better prosecutors for real? Like, what is going on? Like, they're just kind of like a slightly douchebaggy, like slightly ignorant, but they do have great points. They are saying some great stuff, but they're also not too. It's like almost like they're not sure about saying what they're saying or affirming their shit. Like they're very nervous or something. I don't know. I really am not digging that. The judge, the jury, the defense, all are seems like we're on the same page. It seems like America's on the other page. So I am really interested to see how this pans out. I want to know what y'all think about this. I want to know what y'all opinions are thus far about this whole ordeal. Today is a doozy. I've been like sick as a dog, so I'm trying to stay cooped up in the house. And yeah, I've been trying to keep up with this and follow this as much as I can all day. If y'all feel free, send me some links to more articles, and I will, by all means, share them and talk about them if I see fit. So yeah, these are the closing arguments. If you did not hear the beginning piece that I was sharing with y'all, go check out Mercado Media, Snack Squad on YouTube, Mercado Media on Facebook. There's another something legal, something I don't fucking know. NPR has an article that you can check out. They just posted 2 hours ago, and yeah, seems like the latest articles as far as blogging goes online is as of 2 hours ago. So if you check on YouTube, you can catch live streams of right now. They just took a break. Seems like they'll be back at about 3:25 Eastern Standard Time, 2:25 Central Standard Time, which is where they're located. Definitely stay tuned. I will post some updates at some point today. I don't know if I will be back live. However, I may be. You know me. I might go live from bed. Who knows? I can't stay away. But I just wanted to provide a little bit of update and keep people aware that this is going on. And today is likely the day where they'll wrap things up. And at some point, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, however long it takes the jury to deliberate and come out with a decision. But we are coming up to that point. Remember, this is the Kyle Rittenhouse murder trial from Kenosha, Wisconsin. It seems like the judge dismissed one count of possession of a dangerous weapon by a person under 18. So I wonder what charges does he have altogether now then, if that charge was dropped? And that's big, because he was 17 and he had a murder weapon. He was in possession of a dangerous weapon and he was under 18. That should not be dismissed, but whatever. Anyway, if you want further updates, make sure you check out Mercado Media, Snack Squad. You can go on Facebook. I will have updates and articles posted as well. You can check them here in the comments. I posted them to YouTube. Make sure you are liking and subscribing to all the podcasts, all the platforms that we are on. It's greatly appreciated. And if you need further information, I will drop it out for you. Thank you for tuning into the Leon Block, y'all. Make sure you meditate on your path. Make sure you celebrate your being, liberate your spirit, and educate yourself. I'm John Tell. I'll be back shortly with some further information. And remember, they will be back on to stream the trial again at 2:25 Central Standard Time and 3:25 Eastern Standard Time. I'm sick as a dog, y'all. Don't mind me. Arm yourself with knowledge and have a blessed journey.